Hi, it's a really nice day, so I thought it would be good to make a video outside. So today I kind of want to talk a little bit about hypervigilance and cancer treatment and cancer therapy and cancer diagnosis. So it's not uncommon for people newly diagnosed with cancer to experience a thing that's called hypervigilance. And hypervigilance happens, it's kind of like a form of anxiety, like it can also be a symptom of PTSD. So if you don't know what that is, that's post-traumatic stress disorder. So, okay, I had to cut away for a moment because I needed to let Molly out. Molly. Well, no, she's not gonna. Okay. Oh, are you? All right. So here's my girl Molly. And wait. Can you sit? Sit your butt. She's not gonna. Oh, yes, she is. Hi, baby. Hi. So this is Molly. She's my little angel. She's amazing. She's one of my biggest supporters here. So I think this might turn into a Molly video, huh? Yeah, baby. She's an angel. She's a snuggle-dog. And she loves to be pet. And she's playful. And she gets zoomies sometimes. She's what they call a miniature boxer, which is part Boston Terrier and part boxer. I think she's a rescue. She's from the local pound. And we always rescue from the local shelter. So we have bought a pure bed in the past, and he was great. He lasted 15 years. You know, he was our buddy for 15 years. I can show pictures of him later in the video. So Molly is good at helping me with my anxiety. She helps me forget. She's a constant source of laughter. She's a sweetie pie. So that's who's sitting with me right now. Just so you're aware that I've got a Molly with me. So anyway, I didn't really know much about Molly's breed or anything like that when we took her in, but she's just been an absolute angel. Such a sweet, she's really into birds. Look at that bird watching form. So, yeah, all right. So anyway, we're talking a little bit about hypervigilance and how to handle some anxiety that you might have if you've recently been diagnosed or know someone who's recently been diagnosed with cancer. I have metastatic breast cancer, which is stage 4 invasive ductal cancer. And I essentially had issues with hypervigilance in the beginning, which is a form of kind of a specific form of anxiety centered around your health. And so this one little tiny pain that was, whoops, I'm dropping my camera. One little pain that was so easy to ignore, and it didn't really have, like I said, I couldn't even believe I was calling a doctor over it. It was only because I couldn't tell if there was a lump there or not that I did this, that I had it even checked out. So who knows how long it was there. I didn't have it checked out until it started hurting, because cancer doesn't hurt, right? So, okay. Anyways, so we're in the middle of getting diagnosed. My diagnosis took about 4 months. Other people's diagnosis can sometimes take longer. But anyway, once I had the cancer diagnosis, I started wondering about other aches and pains. Oh, does this hurt? What does this mean? What does that mean? And it turns out that was kind of like some hypervigilance, and that's pretty normal when you go through PTSD type of situation. You start to get anxious about any kind of heart palpitations, like if you're having an anxiety attack, am I dying? That kind of thing. And so I ended up getting a little bit of therapy for it. And I think that really helped, because I constantly felt like something was wrong with me. If it wasn't like a backache, or, just everything felt so weird and different and scary. And anything different that I noticed, like a bump here, I think there was a bump on my arm that they ended up doing an ultrasound for it and finding out that it was nothing. But for a while, I didn't know what else is cancer. And that's a really scary feeling. And I felt really overwhelmed by that feeling sometimes. Like, what else is going on in my body, and where else, and what could that be? What could that mean? That's really frightening. And so there's ways to focus on other things, such as having a dog. But there's other ways to handle hypervigilance, in that nothing's really in our control fully. And thinking positive is better than worrying, because worry actually is kind of like a breeding house for more problems, I think, as far as health issues are concerned. If you spend your time worrying, if emotions are chemical cocktails that our brain kind of mixes for us, what kind of concoction are you making for yourself if all you do is worry and worry and worry? So to take your mind off of things, distract, thinking on other things, but also to honor those fears a little bit and ask your doctor. Don't be afraid to ask your doctor. They'll know the tests to run. They're looking for cancer everywhere too. They're worried too. So like I said, I ended up getting that ultrasound for that like little bump on my arm, which turned out to be just like some fatty tissue, not a big deal. But it's better to know than to be sorry about it later that you didn't get it checked out. I'm the queen of not getting it checked out. So don't do that to yourself. And let yourself honor some of that fear. But then once the doctor tells you, if that sits right with you, let it go. If you really need a second opinion, go ahead. But I think that some of it is just, you start to wonder, what else is out of my control? What else haven't I thought of, or what else haven't I considered? I thought I was taking care of myself. So those are just some general thoughts that I thought might help anybody that's kind of new to this whole cancer thing, and it's scary. My diagnosis is stage 4 invasive ductal cancer. And like I said, I hardly felt any pain. So it's really scary to think that you can go a whole bunch of time, months and months and months, without knowing something's there. So yeah, honor it, get it checked out, but then also honor your doctors. At a certain point, if you develop an issue with it, maybe talk to somebody, see if it's something that you can deal with on a more emotional level. If you know that maybe, these people that have your best interests in mind, maybe they're not wrong, So I had to kind of I've given them a lot of my faith. Not stupidly so, but they're pretty smart people, and they've got my best interests at heart, and I try to have faith in that. I also just try to find peace with things. I spend a lot of time kind of meditating on it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. It's fine. This is all nature. This is all just cells. We're the ones just fighting nature. Everything now is just borrowed time, and I'm trying to enjoy every minute of it. And I just want to love nature and love the people that I love and be around them. And I want to experience the fun things I can, even though there's COVID kind of keeping me from doing a lot of travel. But that's okay. I'm just trying to love what I have instead of, I guess, focusing on what I don't have or what I want or whatever. But that's the same thing with my health. Loving my body for the healing that it's doing so far, and that we're okay, that it's okay, and it's okay to be scared. But honor that fear a little bit, get it checked out if it's really worrying you. Give yourself peace of mind. You deserve that. If you've been through anything like this or been there for somebody else going through it, you deserve a moment of relief, and that is not worrying. So I hope this helps someone. I don't know if I've worded that just right, but if you feel like you're going through this and you noticed all the aches and pains and you notice all the, oh, that feels stiff or that's different than before, talk to your doctor, but know that you're not alone. This is kind of a common thing that occurs in a lot of new diagnosed cancers, and that you're gonna, you're gonna have some of that maybe. So, and it's just it's a period of time to get used to living with metastatic breast cancer, taking care of yourself through it, but not focusing solely on that, because there's so much more in life. There's so much else in life besides just cancer, and that's a good time when I'm worried so much that I'm just hyper vigilant about my own health. Sometimes the best thing I can do is to distract myself by reading a book or learning something new, or talking to an old friend, or taking a drive. Get your mind off of those things once you get them checked out. So, all right. I hope this helped, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself and be kind to yourself and others. Bye.
So, this is the dog I was talking about a little earlier in the video. We got him when he was just a puppy. He was the only puppy I ever really raised from little. So it was kind of like having my own little baby. I never had kids. So I went through all the joys of potty training and him losing his milk teeth and so forth. So, yeah, this little stinker that we got. And he grew up. He grew up fast, a little too fast. He was a great dog. This dog was not afraid of anything. He would stand outside. He would ask to go outside during thunderstorms, and he would bark at the sky. Like, show yourself. Don't just growl at me. And of course, like all Goldens, he was kind of a food hound. He was very well behaved. And so, yeah, he lived 15 years, and he was a great dog. He did end up dying of cancer, but again, for Golden Retriever, 15 years is a great run. So we shouldn't forget that either. The other dog in this picture is Tails. He had no ears. He had ears, but he had no ear flaps. It wasn't cut off or anything. He just had deformed ears that he was born with. That's my husband Jerry with them in the Wisconsin winter. And then, yeah, there we are. So, good memories. Such good memories. All right. Well, thanks for sharing that part anyways.
And for my subscriber, Beaver with a Chainsaw, eggs.